Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms for our new player series for Farming Simulator 22 on the PS5. We're in Elm Creek. We've started in new farmer mode and our sorghum is ready to go. So we've put the greenhouses in, we discussed that last video. So we've got those set to selling lettuce. So let's just double check how well we did. Yeah, so we did about 16,000 in April. We've already done 6,000 for May, 10,000 in March. So we're getting about well, hopefully we can get 15 to 16,000 per day on passive income. Well, not quite passive, but just by topping up the water supply. So what I'm going to do is make sure this is full, which it is. So that's great. So next thing we'll do is get our combine underway. And while the combine is harvesting, we will go and top up our greenhouses. So basically we've got to pay off 80,000 in greenhouses, so they're 10 grand a pop. So once we've paid off that $10,000 figure, plus 5 grand for the water cooler, well, not water cooler, but the water tank, we will then be breaking even, and then we'll start turning a profit. So we would expect to see that start to really generate some cash. So let's get that going. Let's get this guy in and filling up the greenhouses. So the reason why I've got them set to selling is because I don't want to have to handle several pallets of lettuce, because there is a 50 pallet limit in game, if you weren't aware. For consoles, PCs it's 100. So it's just to do with the game engine and its ability to render and handle that amount of, I guess, pallets. So they're both full. So let's see if we get both of these guys. So we should be unloading here. So basically the plan is if I do this every day, then I won't ever have to refill everything from the beginning. Therefore, I won't be spending half an hour trying to fill these from the top. So you can see here we've nearly filled up all of them. These end ones will probably miss out just potentially a little bit, because these are always the last to get filled in the row. Yep, so you can see that there. So they'll probably take a little bit more. So let's go and get another load. I've got some additional leasing costs with this tank and dolly, so that's something we've got to try and recoup and cover as well as part of our sort of enterprise here. So I'm going to start filling that. Go and check on the combine. Happy days, here's all good. Obviously we're a little bit light on with food. I mean extremely light on. I need to move that trailer out the way potentially as well. So let's grab our tractor here. So next thing we're going to be on the lookout for is probably another small tractor or a medium tractor. So I want to upgrade this one. So something to get a bit more horsepower. Probably a Fendt or a JCB would be ideal. John Deere would be alright. She's got to have a little bit more oomph to get the jobs done that we need done. So let's see if we can drive through here. Actually, it's a bit tricky. So I actually went through the shed before and opened up all the doors. So we'll leave him there. Currently our egg production is doing nothing because there is no food. Oh, that seed is going to be on the way too, so let's get rid of... So let's unhook that. Go and grab the seeder out the way. So that's the thing you want to try and do as well, is you want to try and put your implements and stuff away so it's not in the way of something else. Just consider it sort of good housekeeping. So the only reason I dropped this off because I was in a hurry to go and get the original water tank that we had. Another thing I'll mention as well is it's about 3,100 to fill the water from the water tank. So we're making about 16,000 per day. We need to minus the 3,000 in water costs. So we're actually probably only getting, say 12,000, which probably isn't that much, to be honest. I mean, it's still going to render us an income, but we could obviously be getting a bit more than that. Where's this harvester? So he's probably due for an offload shortly, so let's disconnect this one. We'll hook into... Actually, I might have to see if this will tow it. It's probably going to struggle, but let's see. Now I think we're stuck here on this. It's because of the way this field is configured. So we'll try and unload this guy on the go. We'll get the header closer to the inner part of the field. I'll hire a worker now. That should be all good. This is going to stop again. Hopefully he's not. Jump back in here. See if we can't get a load off. We're still pretty light on cash actually, so that's going to be an issue moving forward. Yeah, so 3,200 to top up that water tanker. So I might just try and get a full load here if we can. And we'll position this for the chickens. So for some reason we are here. There we go. So this will take apparently 40 cubic meters, but I don't know what that turns out to be in literage. So I guess we'll find out. I don't think this is going to fill up, not even halfway. So it appears to me that this will do, say 40. It'd probably do 20,000 liters actually. So let's get this out of the way. Probably should have taken the more powerful tractor, but anyway. Just driving on the crops here just because I have to line this thing up. Okay, so yeah, it's got a tilt function. So this will be a little bit more manageable than the other trailer. Okay, let's get this combine back underway. And realistically, we need to find a bigger field to harvest. Okay, let's go this way here. But we've got to be able to invest. This is not going to get all that, so let's go from here. So I'll keep that position there for now. Used equipment, so we've got a fertilizer sprayer and a weed sprayer and a round bale trailer. So neither of which we are interested in at this point. Oh, I've got some soybeans to sell actually, so I've got to remember to get rid of those when the price is good. So 11,000 litres. Soybeans are, from memory, November. Could be July actually. Yeah, I think I've gone past them. So they're actually fetching a decent price right now. So it's June, so we are next month. So soybeans next month. So I'll assume control here, finish this last little section, and then we are gonna get our seeder underway straight up. Okay, so let's get this guy going. Jump into this guy. And we'll do wheat this time. Alright, so change the crop to wheat. Unfold the seeder. So So we're just trying to maximize our efficiency here. As soon as the harvest is done, we're back in getting the next crop underway. So we're minimizing the downtime, maximizing our productivity. Alright, this looks pretty good. Alright, harvest is done. So I'm just going to park him close to the main road, because I don't want to have to deal with the header situation right now. So I'll just park him over here, out of the way. So there's nothing stopping you from parking basically anywhere you want. You don't need to own the land, you just need to be able to access the area. And of course that's blocking traffic. Who would have thought? Let's move the pipe, maybe that'll fix it. There we go. Okay, so we'll leave him to do that. We will check on our greenhouses just quickly. So they should all be full, probably bar 2. So it looks like just one is a bit low. So that's absolutely fine. Alright, that harvester still had some crop in it, so let's go pick that up, just so it's empty. So what I'll do is I'll drive over, get my back my trailer in this time, so we don't get stuck. I will jump back in the combine, just so we get the overloading on the pipe out function. So just here should do it. I don't know. So sometimes you've got to be in them. So that's super handy. I didn't have to do any extra work there. So let's drive that back in. Get this guy into position. And we're just waiting for our seed to be drilled. And then we're good to go. So we're not going to get the overloading trigger here for this batch of sorghum because we are currently full, it looks like. Yes, they got 9,000 litres, so we'll start producing eggs again. Next month we have the... So where are we? Yeah, so this guy's still got a little bit to go, so that's fine. Once that's done, we'll probably top up the greenhouses once more, then we'll sleep, and then we'll go into June. So I'm going to cut the video there, let our seeder do its thing, and then we'll come back in once that wheat is planted. Alright, we are all done with that seeding, so let's get this guy out the way. And let's go and sleep for one day, and then we'll move on to that soybean sale. And we will also go and top up the greenhouses. So let's keep driving here. Alright, this seeder I'm just going to leave just off the road. So our chicken coop's been refilled, so we should start producing eggs again. Greenhouses are relatively full, so we just need to top them up on the next pass. While the greenhouses, while we're doing the delivery of the soybeans, we'll get the trailer refilled. This is the water tank trailer, and then we'll go from there. So how much money did we make yesterday? So sold products of 16,000. So we seem to be making 16,000 pretty regularly, which is good. Okay, so soybeans should be. So June, what do we got? Johnson's Farmers Market, Feeding Grain South, so $200 difference. So let's go and see how we So what I'll do is I'm going to switch tractors here. So I need to move this out of the way before we do anything else. So the other thing you've got to be careful of with this high lift trailer is that, so I'll leave that there. Now I think you need to connect to the trailer, so the tanker, to fill it. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we're going to walk away and do this other delivery. So that is connected. So it's already full. So what we'll do here is I'm going to drive these soybeans over because I don't want to have a mishap. So what I might do is I'm just going to drive the soybeans. We'll come back and top off the greenhouses. So we should be able to do these soybeans in one trip, actually, to be honest. Where are we? Soybeans, 11,000. And we want to go to Johnson's Farmers Market because it is currently got the best price. So it is all the way over there. Alright, let's do this. So I'm just going to cut across this section of crop. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Now I'm stuck on something. Okay, this is not worked out at all. I mean, great start to the delivery. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to go on the road. Okay, let's do this. So we've got a 53k per hour top speed on this, so should get us there relatively quickly. I think the fastest tractor in the game is the JCB Fast Track, and then it'll do 70 k's per hour. So obviously tractors aren't designed to go super fast. They're designed to pull, heavy loads and implements. So they've got really strong low-down torque, hence the big wheels. But speed is not their strong suit. So what I'm going to do is I'll drive over there. We'll cut the video and we'll come back. We'll sell it and we'll see how much we get. See you in a couple of minutes. Alright, so we're coming up to Johnson's Farmers Market. So this is the same place that we came to in the tutorial. So I've made the extra effort to drive here to sell the soybeans because there's an extra $200 per 1,000 litres. So it just makes sense to maximise our income here. So let's see how much we get. So 41,000, not a bad effort. So that'll definitely help the income for the moment. So I'm going to auto drive this guy back. So let's go open AI worker menu. So utilising the set destination function. So I'm just going to park it just out the front of the main farm. So he should be all good for that. And we're going to see if this little tractor can wrangle this tanker. So far so good. So we just got to take it around a reasonable loop, up a little bit of a hill. Yeah, we should be okay. Obviously not ideal, but still can do it. Okay, we should get the overloading trigger pop up at any stage here. So it's not popping up for these ones, so I wonder why that is. Maybe they're already full. Easy way to check. $18,000 litres, you can see that there. So this should still take. Should still take some. So start overloading. So we just didn't get the trigger then. But it is actually in need of water, so I'm going to quickly just go through here and do this. So that one took some. So these ones that we're driving past now are about to take a little bit. Okay, so we should get the next lot just here, which we have. And we should get this last lot. This will probably go pretty close to emptying out our tanker, I would say. So this should still fill while I'm out of the vehicle. So that one's full. And that one is... yeah. That, to me... so it looks like we're all full, so we're going to the production menu. And quickly check through all the greenhouses. Nice, they're all maxed out, so that's ideal. Okay, so let's get this guy back to the filling station. So basically the initial effort is to get the greenhouses placed, filled and set up. And now you just saw, you know, about 2 minutes work to top them up before we move on for the next job. So the real benefit here is being able to fill this and walk away. Okay, where is our, yep, tractor and trailer. So I'm just going to park him up here for the moment. Let's jump in the pallet telehandler, get some of these pallets moved, just to make way for tomorrow's pallets of eggs. And we're coming up to November, not soon, but reasonably soon. So we want to have a decent stockpile of eggs. And actually what I want to do is probably see if we can't get another wheat or sorghum harvest in from a flipped field. Actually no, we won't be able to because we don't have enough cash, so that's going to be our next focus. Once we get enough cash to buy a field and flip, we will do that. So let's get that down. And let's check the used vehicle equipment. Case Terraflex, we've got a silo compactor and a seeder. Well, no, that's actually a cultivator. So none of those things we need, so let's go and sleep. Our wheat looks to be in its first growth state, so tomorrow we will fertilise. I'll take off this trigger for Johnson's Farmers Market, which you can see there in that green line, just so it's out of the way. Okay, so up around 100,000, no vehicles for sale. Price fluctuations, let's untag that. Where are we with eggs? So eggs are worth 3,000, due to go up in November, so we've still got 6 months. So we're probably not going to have enough grain to sustain us. Oh, we've still got 1,800 litres of sorghum, 203 litres of wheat. So we might do all right here. So let's refill the chicken coop first. So I just want to make sure that's topped off. So let's fill that up with, what have we got? Wheat, oats, sorghum. Let's go and check on the oats. Price of oats. So they're December. So I reckon what we'll do is we'll sell them at the grain mill soon. Obviously when December rolls around, just so we can offload them out of the silo, get them into the grain mill in preparation for us purchasing that. Because I think, I don't know if you can make oat bread, but let's have a look. So grain mill does receive it, cereal factory. Yeah, it might just be a case of we just sell it just to get rid of it. Okay, how's our greenhouses looking? So they've got about 2,000 litres. Oh, I'm going to switch my tractor. If I can get into this guy. Okay, so we'll get our big tractor back just to make it a bit easier to pull this load. Alright, detach that one. Good driving today, I must say. I've run into so many things. Pallets need to be moved, so we got our egg production is getting back underway. Okay, so this should be full. Yes, it is. So we'll just do a bit of a quick loop around. And then we'll drive on through. So I wonder if we get the overloading trigger this time, we'll have to do it manually. So that was probably a little bit too sharp for the trailer to turn. So what we're going to do is shut this here. So close the door. Just so we've got a bit of room to drive through. Alright, so we should get the trigger. No, we haven't. So I'm just going to start overloading anyway. And this should overload basically as we drive past them. So there we go, there's another one. So once I get the trigger, I'm just going to stop. When I say I get the trigger, it just means that it's consuming the water. So next one should be coming up shortly. There's a bit went in there. So they shouldn't be full, these guys. There we go. So sometimes it takes it till it gets to about the middle of the trailer before it actually starts to... There we go, there's a bit more potentially there. Nope. So you just want to drive slowly. You should start picking it up in a second. There we go. Okay. Nothing. So I'll just double check they've actually taken the water. Yeah, they have. Alright. Swing back around, I'll get this refilled. So a little bit of a tight turning radius, but we look like we're managing. So I'll swing around this side. Usually what I will do is I position one or two at each end, and we'll get that filling. Alright, so all I've got to do for the remainder of today is move a couple of these pallets out the way, get our little stack going. We've got to get some fertilizer down on the wheat, so I'll do that as well. And then we're pretty well good to go. So just double check where we're up to. Yeah, so we'll leave that episode here, guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate the support for the channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps me out. Like the video, leave a comment if you've got any questions or feedback, or yeah, basically any suggestions for how this series should play out, how you're enjoying it, that type of thing. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.